I went to Planning Commission and they approved my zone change for all uses except cannabis. So, you're like,
unbelievable. It's like they knew what you were trying to do, Adam.
like they knew exactly what I was trying to do.
Give us maybe your best deal that you've done in the past year or two from kind of give us the ABC of the deal. What was it? What was the vision or the challenges? How did you work with the city? What happened?
Sure. So to make a very long story short, I took a 15,000 square foot warehouse, and what I did is I put an option on it for a year to be able to control the asset so that I can go and get these entitlements. The goal was to get the entitlement, get the zone change, and get a conditional use permit to allow for a cannabis use at this building, and then be able to sell it to a cannabis investor before closing escrow. So I didn't have to come up with the capital to close it. So went through the whole process. First thing at planning committee, after months of going through all of the Native American tribal leaders and making sure that they cleared the project, I went to Planning Commission and they approved my zone change for all uses except cannabis. So, you're like,
unbelievable. It's like they knew what you were trying to do, Adam.
Like they knew exactly what I was trying to do. They had some thoughts on it, and it was it was 3 or 4 years ago. So it was kind of an interesting time when cannabis in California wasn't as, it was even before Prop 64, I believe. And so then what we had to do is take the Planning Commission decision, go to City Council, but appeal the portion related to cannabis. So that it required some lobbying. And then, ultimately we were able to be successful in getting that zone change. We went and again did plans for how it's going to look as a cannabis facility, getting all the grow rooms approved and all the parking and all those aspects. And so now we have this great package of a fully approved building, but we don't have any more time. And so what we ended up having to do was, something that we were in the project, I think, for 2.1 purchase price. Fair market value was probably like 3.2 is what we could have gotten for it, but we sold it for 2.6 because we needed to close it in like 30 days, and they had to trust us that we had gotten all these entitlements and done. So it was still, I think we probably invested $100,000 in it. So it was like a 5x return. And, we were very happy with that based on that project.
That's phenomenal. I would be too. By the way, talking about building wealth with value add entitlement deals with Adam Gilbert. You can find more about Adam at thefirmcommercial.com. That's thefirmcommercial.com. So growing up, there's this movie, right? It's called The Firm, Adam, right? You may have seen it. And this gentleman named Tom Cruise is this, I think it's Tom Cruise. Yeah. Yeah. And he's newly married, and he goes to the firm and he's trying to make it in the business. So being an attorney and being in real estate, how is your life like Tom Cruise's?
Well, I do try to be the good one. And so I say, we're the firm, but not like that firm. Actually a lot of the members of the firm commercial are actually former attorneys. I think we have 3 of our 7 agents. We've got a couple of MBAs. And so, there's a lot of fun that we have in Palm Springs in terms of being a resort community. So there's a little bit of the fun life that the firm shows. But, we like to get down to business, but we're a small community, and we care very much about our reputation and who we do deals with because we plan to be here for a very long time.
Amazing. Absolutely love that. And thanks for working with me on that one. I just went to Wyoming for a trip, right? And it's like growing up in the 80s, like Tom Cruise, and there's certain movies that, and not just Tom Cruise, like Brad Pitt, a couple other guys, where you're like, man, that'd be cool to like do that thing like those guys are doing. And so when I was in Wyoming, I had never fly fished before. And I'd rode a horse like once, right? But all of a sudden I'm on this like cool camp, and it's like the most beautiful country ever. And like, there's a river that literally runs through the camp, right? And there's like these 2 lakes, and then like the cabins in the middle. And I'm like, and it's like a river runs through it. And so my whole goal the entire week with these guys would be like, hey guys, I just want to be Brad Pitt and a river runs through it, right? So just take me to the thing, let me do the fish thing with the flies, right? Let me let me ride the horse, right? And let me just live my childhood dream. Is that okay? And they all laughed. And these guys were, actual people who know what they're doing out in the wilderness there. And we had fun.